This is a very, very happy lobster behind me. It really makes me smile to see artwork like this. It's really fun. This episode begins about 5 o'clock in the morning, just after taking an all-night bus for 14 hours from Granada over to Barcelona. Something I don't recommend you do. But so I start this episode with the metro. The metro is a very lonely place at 5 o'clock in the morning. This is my tram. I've got to get on this one, transfer to another tram, and then get off and walk to my hostel. I arrived successfully at the hostel, no problems. It was pretty easy to find. I checked in and they were so extremely nice. They let me just crash on a couch in a little living room area, social area that was just behind the office. And I was able to get about 3-4 hours of sleep, but pretty much wiped. Wasn't really up for doing very much during the day. It's about 4:30 in the afternoon and I am in Barcelona. I am absolutely wiped. Sometimes I question my own decisions when I decide to do something that involves overnight transportation, going from one city to another overnight. Seems like it always wipes me out and I lose almost an entire day just sleeping and trying to recover, and I feel terrible. It's sort of an interesting day for me today. I have been having a real difficult time focusing today. Tomorrow I leave Europe and I'm flying back to the United States. I have not been in the United States for over a year, like 14 months. And so I'm trying to prepare for this trip. It's a little bit complicated. I have 4 flights tomorrow, so I'm trying to print out the tickets and coordinate and make sure I'm checked in and that I have everything lined up and that I know the gates I'm going to and airports and everything all figured out, trying to weigh my pack to make sure I'm under the 10 kg limit and that I have everything all lined out and planned. So that's taking a considerable amount of my emotional and intellectual effort to get that all worked out, and dealing with sort of the subconscious emotional issues of ending this part of my travels and going back to the US and getting things lined up there for the next few months and the next few weeks. So trying to get all this lined up and figured out, and dealing with a little bit of work today, some client work. I worked probably about 2 hours this morning doing some website updates, sending some jobs off to a printer, things like that. So I haven't really done all that much today other than just lining up all these things and weighing my backpack and sorting through things, emptying out liquids, trying to get things all adjusted. So it's been a little bit chaotic for me. I decided I needed to get out of the hostel for a little bit just to sort of clear my head, get just a little bit of physical exercise, and try to get my thoughts a little more organized. So this morning I've been trying to write some notes to get some clarity as far as plans for 2017 and the logistics of everything from now until arriving in the United States. Getting all the plane tickets lined up, the luggage weights correct, make sure that I have all the documents that I need for all 4 of my flights that are going to happen tomorrow. So I just need to get out of the hostel and walk a little bit, and it was recommended to me by the hostel staff that I walk down the street near my hostel on Parallel Street to a park. So I'm going to walk down to the park and sit there and just maybe do some meditation and try to get a little bit more peace of mind for this monkey brain turmoil that I have happening in my head right now. I'm headed to the park right now, and I just walked past, or I'm walking past this plaza area here that is really fascinating. Behind me there's a building with 3 large circular columns, smokestacks. They look like industrial exhaust smokestacks. And right next to it is this large park that has a giant, looks like a pipe or plumbing system with a valve on it, and it looks like some giant spark plugs, like electrical, I don't know what they call these things, the porcelain electrical connections like they have in power systems. I'm not sure exactly what this is, but it looks some sort of industrial art type combination complex. I wasn't aware that there is a cable car system that connects this hill over here in the distance with a cable all the way across to this tower, and then it keeps going somewhere. I had not read anything about this, don't know anything about it. It's the first time I've seen it. I'm curious to know how much it costs and exactly what that's all about. I should probably apologize in advance for those of you who think this is a travel blog. It's not really, because I'm not educated. I don't really do much research about places I travel to. It's just sort of a daily blog, and this is the style of travel I have, is I just wander around and look at things, and I don't really know what I'm looking at. For example, this building back here is just fabulous. I love the architectural style with the winged griffins on the top of it over here on the corners. And then the eagles standing on the balls, and just the stone architecture is quite beautiful. There's some words on it, Duana. I don't know what that means or why it's here or what it is, but I appreciate it. It's beautiful, and I enjoy looking at things like this. I just found a just huge, giant, neat piece of artwork, this statue that's right in the middle of a traffic circle. And I'm told this is the Cologne statue, or Collins statue, something like that. I just asked a local person here in this little park area on the edge of it. Looks like there's a guy just standing at the top of the tower, and he's pointing in one direction. And down below there's some angels and various figures seated below. It's really spectacular, really nice piece of artwork. I'm not exactly sure why it's here or what it symbolizes or who made it, but it's eye candy and interesting just to see as you're walking along down here. By the way, I'm right next to the shoreline, so this is the frontage road that runs right along the shore going out to the park that I'm walking to. Down right at the waterfront now and at the port area, and you can see there's a couple of I think tourist type ships, like old schooner ships that are supposed to have sails, and over in the distance you can see that sky tram that goes through up to this tower, and then it goes down to tower over here in the distance, and it looks like that's the end point. So it starts there, goes to a center tower, and then up to the hill in the distance. I'm not sure how much it costs for that tram ride, but it's beautiful down here. This is the port area. Nice yellow building back here with beautiful Spanish architecture. Again, just eye candy. This is quite beautiful. This is quite nice. There's a pedestrian walkway sort of on a floating pier that goes out here to this Mara Magnum shopping center that's out at the end, and that's where the tower is that you can take this tram rides to go up to the hillside over there. There's lots of birds flying around, people feeding the birds, taking little boat rides. It's a great place, I think, to come down for a few hours and just see something a little different in Barcelona. Reached the park. This is Park Ciutadella. Anyway, I'm going to go inside, wander around, and probably sit for a little bit, try to do some meditation, and sort of just get recentered a little bit today. I'm inside the park now, and something I've noticed about all of the parks that I've been to in Spain is that most of the pathways are made out of compacted ground, compacted earth, and it's typically like this. They just roll it and they compress it, and then people walk on it. I'm not sure exactly what it looks like after it rains out here. I imagine it's probably quite a mess, but it's a really nice walkway, the central area here leading to the arch at the other end. I believe that's the Arch of Triumph, Arc de Triumph, or however they pronounce that in Spanish. Found a nice pond in the middle of the park and some benches by it. This looks like a perfect place to sit down and meditate for a little bit and just try to get centered. I had a nice meditation and some time here at the park. I think it's time to head back to the hostel and get some lunch, take a nap, And I've got some video editing to do, some online work, print out some more plane tickets. That's probably all I'm going to do for today. That's all I have for this episode. Thanks for watching. Pursue your passions, savor the moment, be happy. See you next episode.